Washington County is considered one of the most fiscally conservative counties in the state of Utah.
But we are still number one as the best value for the tax. We take in the least amount of money per citizen, and we get by with the least amount of money per capita than anybody else in the state.
Taxes here are considered among the lowest, operating under a tight budget without raising taxes.
So we do get a lot of benefit from the tourists that come here, and that's what helps keep, one of the things that helps keep our tax low. Your taxes are lower by $1,200 to $1,500 a year because of those tourists. I think 17 years was the last time they raised the tax rate.
With high interest rates and an unsure future in the nation's economy, commissioners say they too have to make tough choices on whether to raise taxes or make cuts.
We didn't want to put one more burden on families that are already feeling the pain at the gas pump. They're feeling the pain at the cash register. They're looking at ways that they have to tighten up to be able to survive, and we said we're going to do the same thing.
The county is using something called zero-based budgeting to justify future costs and needs of which each department has had to play a role.
A zero-based budget, simplified, is that we start from zero. We don't just give you what you got last year and add to it, which is how many federal programs are funded. And you know, there's a set rate of growth. We're going to add 5% every single year to your program or to your office, your department. We don't do that. We make everybody justify every penny every year.
However, the Budget Committee did have to increase funding for some departments in order to stay competitive.
People, when they come in to get services from their government, right? When they come in for marriage licenses or passports or to speak with the assessor's office, the recorder, public works, community development, all those things that the public interfaces with a lot, they want somebody competent sitting on the other side of that desk. We want to maintain good people here to provide the best possible service at the best value to the citizens of Washington County.
Among those departments receiving more competitive wages are the Sheriff's Department and the budget for attorneys, many of whom will be serving in the new Justice Court when it's remodeled for use.
Law enforcement and including both the deputies, corrections at the jail, and the prosecutors. The market has just been a lot of upward pressure on those wages.
But perhaps the biggest budget item that is new this year is the Bearcat.
Again, for the Sheriff's Office, a SWAT vehicle. Ours was just very old and very expensive to maintain, and so we had budgeted, so there'll be a line item for that. And we look at it, there's 2 SWAT vehicles in the Washington County. We have one, and St. George City has one. You say, well, is that too much? Do we really have that many issues? In talking to all of the law enforcement experts, they say you really need 2. They actually work in concert. There's a lot of circumstances that you could box somebody in with 2 of them and maybe de-escalate the situation, have a more positive outcome, and not put deputies and officers' lives at risk.
The total 2024 budget is around $160 million, of which about $40 million actually operates the county using discretionary funds. One area that may take a hit next year is roads.
Like, we had a goal to pave 5 miles of new roads every year, right? I don't know that we're going to hit the 5 miles next year. Oil. You know, it turns out people like to drive on smooth roads. They don't want potholes and washboards and broken roads everywhere they go. So when we repair roads, well, the cost for that has gone through the roof in the last few years.
And while the county still has enough reserves to fund the government for an entire year, that money stays put in an emergency fund just for that reason.
But a large part of it is just very frugal, financially, fiscally conservative principles that we live by.
Washington County Commissioners will hold their budget hearing Tuesday, December 19th. In Washington County, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.